This snake has been living inside our house roof for 3 months now, and my parents never knew about it, so don't take him away. My father is innocent." Those words from Antonia replayed in the chief's head as he spoke. "Take them with us," he commanded, pointing at Rufus and Antonia with his walking stick. "We are going to the shrine to get answers from the priestess." Immediately he said that the men holding Rufus strengthened their grip on him as they all began heading to the village shrine, but no one dared to touch Antonia. Spiritual child abomination. 2 women spat in disgust as they walked past Antonia, while the others drowned in both fear and confusion as they gazed at her like she was the snake in human form. The elders were at the front. Esther held her daughter closely as they hastily followed the men that carried Rufus, and half of the villagers followed behind. The moment they all arrived at the ambience of the shrine, the priestess stepped out immediately, like she already knew people were there. Then the elders stepped forward to narrate what had carried them there, but the priestess asked them to keep shut. She was clad in a red and white wrapper. On her wrist and ankles were different colors of beads, and on her entire body were different drawings made with their traditional native chalk. As she slowly looked around, staring deeply into faces, the whole place went dead silent. She walked into the crowd. The only sound that could be heard was the clapping of her beads. The elders exchanged glances in confusion. They wondered what the priestess was up to. Every eye followed her until she reached a halt right in front of Antonia and her mother. For a few seconds she stared motionless at little Antonia. Seeing this, the villagers began to murmur inaudible words. "Before your grandmother died, did she speak to you?" the priestess suddenly asked. Antonia was mute, but it was at that moment she remembered the day she had turned 15, the night her grandmother died, before passing away right on the dying bed. The grandmother held her hand. She wanted to say something to her granddaughter Antonia, but she died while trying to speak. Antonia never told anyone. Then the priestess turned to the elders, making her beads clap hysterically. "Many years ago," she began, "this land was full of death. Ch. Ladron were dying, strange sicknesses everywhere. People were afraid." She paused for a second, gazing back at the people's faces. "Our ancestors went to the gods and begged for help," she continued. "The gods agreed to protect this land. But they said one female from the village must stand between death and the people, one female every generation." She added, "That female will carry the spiritual burden of the land. She will be the one the spirits recognize." Then she paused again and pointed toward the forest path. "The snake you people are afraid of. It is not ordinary. It is the sign," she said calmly, while everyone's jaw dropped open. "When the old priestess dies, the snake will appear in the house of the next one. It does not bite nor harm anyone. It only watches and waits until the village understands." The crowd became even more quiet. Antonia's grandmother was the last one. The night she died, the spirit moved. The snake entered this house that same night. It wasn't there to KLL, but to Mark. Then suddenly she looked at Antonia. "You are the next one." The moment she said that, an uncontrollable wail left Esther's lip. "Hold that woman." One of the elders screamed from afar. Once again, silence stepped. "The snake did not come down when you were awake because it knows you. It moved when your mother prayed because spiritual things respond to prayer. It stayed 3 months because nobody understood. It waited for today." The priestess elucidated. Then she faced Rufus and men that held him.